So, you want to pick up the XPS 15. Well, not a bad choice. But first, you should probably watch this video. So it's a good thing you already clicked on it. Here are 11 things that are kind of annoying about the XPS 15. Number 1, the display. Now, the display is actually really good when it's good, and it can be really bad when it's bad. Alright, first off, with the display, my first XPS 15, that's right, you heard that right. My first XPS 15, I'm on my third right now. My first XPS 15 had this really bad magenta hue over the display. Like on the right edge and the left edge, it just kind of looked purple. Like someone just rubbed like a grape on the screen and it was just kind of stuck. It was really bad, really nasty, especially when Dell advertises this as being a color accurate screen. I don't want half the screen being purple. It's just not that great. Alright, next thing with the screen, the backlight bleed. Check your backlight bleeding, especially if it's really bad. So what you want to do here is just go to a dark room and bump up the brightness to maximum, and then just kind of look around. Check the corners, especially the bottom edge, because that's where most of the backlight bleeding will be found. Corners, edges, really nothing in the middle, seeing as everything is edge lit. Now, there used to be display flickering where the screen would just kind of flicker and flash and turn into like barcodes, but that was fixed with Intel HD 630 driver updates. So it's not a hardware problem, it's a software problem. Just make sure you update your drivers and you should be good. The version I'm using is version 4678, and I have no flicker problems. There's still a little bit of lag with it. It's odd, right? You spend so much money on a laptop, and every time you swipe up or down, sometimes it just kind of lags a little bit. It's weird. And there's also ghosting with the display, right? And you can really see this when you take your mouse and just kind of slowly drag it across like a black background or a blue background, and you see this little trail behind it, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of affects the experience, because when you're scrolling on text, the text gets blurred and you can't really read it. And it just doesn't feel as premium as it should be. All right, number 2, the speakers. The speakers pop, or they used to, or they can. And if they do pop, this is something that's wrong with the Intel Dynamic Platform and Thermal Framework. I tried uninstalling the Platform and Thermal Framework directly from Intel, but it just reinstalls itself. So what I did was a clean install of Windows 10, and it fixed the problem. So I recommend doing that. It's also just kind of good to get rid of any bloatware, so definitely doesn't hurt. All right, next thing with the speakers, the chassis will vibrate and you will hear it. So what you want to do with this is hopefully just open it up and shove some stuff right where the speakers are. Basically, ideally this stops vibrating the chassis, which is what I've found so far, and I'll make a video about this if you guys want it. Just leave a comment down below. Also, there's this weird thing where when you plug in headphones, you kind of have to select what kind of headphones you plugged in. I don't really mind it at this point, but if you do find it annoying, you can always just disable max audio. It's great. Speaking of max audio, so the speakers out of the box don't sound that great, but with max audio, they actually sound a lot louder and a lot clearer. But there are reports of the speakers being blown out when blasting the speakers at max volume. So I would recommend not doing that too much, especially all the time. Yeah, just don't put your speakers on 100 all the time, and you should be fine. Oh, one more thing about the speakers. When they first play audio after they haven't been used in a while, they'll blast at like max volume for like a tenth of a second, and then go back to whatever volume level they were at. Kind of hurts. All right, number 3, coil whine. It's there. Be aware. It can be loud with certain devices, right? So as I mentioned earlier, this is my third XPS 15. The first 2 had atrocious coil whine. I'm talking like when I'm sitting there and typing, I just hear a high-pitched whining, and then I close my laptop and it goes away, and I open it back up, and then it's back. It's pretty bad. So there are a few things you can do with this. You can lower the number of amps being pushed to the processor through Intel XTU, which is what I've done. It kind of helps, but the performance isn't as great, but it does reduce the coil whine a bit. Another thing you can do is replace the motherboard, which I did as well, a couple of times actually, and it's good. It's better now. It is a lot better now. But it is still there. It's just quieter. Like, you really got to be close to the laptop to hear it, which is better than normally using it and hearing it, right? So, take it for what you will. All right, number 4, chassis warping. So basically, this is when you're tapping on the sides of the laptop and it just isn't flat, right? So in order to fix this, you have to physically take the laptop and just kind of bend it, like bend it with force, but not too much force, right? Just enough to fix it and keep the device flat again. I've done this a couple times, but it did fix the problem until it came back again. When then I fixed it again. Number 5, the display might not be flush with the rest of your laptop. So what I mean by this is, like, when you close the laptop, on the sides you'll notice that the left edge or the right edge of the display, they're just not flush with the rest of the laptop, right? And you can kind of feel how it's like a bump, right? It's not flat. It kind of irks me a little bit. And then there's also some issue other people have come across where, like, the actual metal part of the laptop isn't aligned with the plasticky part, and you can actually cut yourself because of how sharp it is. All right. Number 6, the fans. These fans randomly just kind of go on and off, and they can really get kind of loud under load. The fan curve is really weird, right? I feel like sometimes when it does come on, it doesn't need to come on, and when it doesn't come on, I'm pretty grateful because it's nice and quiet. So just be aware of that. Also, with the fan placement, if you have really hairy legs and you want to put your laptop on your legs, on your lap, without any pants on, you might get them cut by the fans. I can confirm this, as I have done this. It sounds really bad. So I'd recommend wearing pants while using this laptop. Also, if you raise the laptop slightly when you're gaming or doing something really intensive, the fans can actually intake air better, and it'll lower the temps between 5 and 10 degrees Celsius. All right, number 7. Is your trackpad bulging? Well, it might actually be, and this is from battery swelling. That's right, your battery is swelling. And this is dangerous, right? Because it's a battery. We all know what happened with the Note 7. So basically, in order to check this, you gotta unscrew the back and take out the battery and just kind of check if it's a little chubby. And if it's good, put it back in, close it up. And if it's swollen, return it, get it replaced, get your money back, do something good, right? All right, number 8. So number 8, I'm just going to kind of talk about some port stuff. So it's just some general knows and things you gotta know, you should know. This has HDMI 1.4, not 2.0. So what that means is you're limited to 4K at 30 hertz, but you still get 1080p at 60 hertz, which is pretty good. But as 4K is coming in, it might be nice to have a future-proof HDMI port. So just be aware of that. There's also the GIMP Thunderbolt 3 port, which only has 2 PCIe lanes. So this kind of limits the bandwidth for external GPUs. So basically, if you wanted to plug in an external GPU, you'd only get half the bandwidth for it. It really hurts when you're trying to stream the video data back to the screen, but if you're using an external monitor, it isn't as bad. Also, another Thunderbolt 3 port wouldn't hurt. Shout out to 2017 XPS 15 9570. Huh? The ports are kind of stiff too. So when you plug in like a USB, it'll be a little, you kind of have to like wiggle it in or just shove it in, right? And when you take it out, it's just not smooth, right? It's not smooth compared to like a Mac. You really just kind of feel like the tension and pressure on the port, on your little plug. It's a little unsettling. But there's no damage done yet, so it can't be that bad, right? Also, the ports might be misaligned. Now, this is where what I said earlier about the ports being stiff might come in, right? If your ports are misaligned, you might need to have more pressure just to get the plug in. And this is something that may cause damage later on. And if you're worried about that, you should probably get your device replaced. Number 9. This is things you can't really do stuff about. The webcam. It looks up your nose and it ain't that great. I mean, you could get another webcam There's that, but like the webcam on the laptop you can't really fix. And the keyboard isn't that great either. It's really plastic feeling and the travel is just kind of shallow. I mean, it works, but it's nothing to write home about. And it's nothing compared to like any mechanical keyboard out there or the old Mac keyboards. Not the new ones, the older ones. The chassis gets kind of smudgy too, so you may want to clean that down a bit, but not too bad. The fingerprint sensor is nice though. I guess that's not really a complaint. Okay, number 10, throttling. Your XPS 15 probably throttles. And basically what this means is when you're doing like intensive tasks on the CPU or GPU or both, your device will actually lower the clock speeds in order to keep temperatures down. So you're pretty much not getting like maximum performance out of it, which kind of sucks. To check this, you can either run benchmarks using like 3D Mark, Unigen, PC Mark, Prime 95, Furmark. Just like check stuff, right? And compare it with values online and check if your computer is throttling, right? Use HW info, you know? But there is something you can do about this. There is repasting. You can repaste your CPU and GPU, which is basically like, well, I guess, okay, the stuff that goes in between the CPU or GPU and the heatsink. It's important stuff, and a lot of times Dell does a pretty bad job of applying this, so you could always reapply this, and it doesn't void your warranty. So if you want a video of that, leave a comment down below, because I gotta repaste mine. There's like some issues with it. I repasted it before, but I don't think I added enough paste because my CPU is hitting like 94 degrees Celsius, which is kind of pushing it. And you can always undervolt. And there's been some pretty good reports about undervolting. You can decrease your temperatures by about 10 degrees Celsius, and fans won't come on as much either. So that's good. All right, number 11. What is number 11? Well, stickers. Where are my stickers? You know, it's not even that I want stickers on this device, right? A lot of people say it kind of ruins the design, but like, yo, these be free stickers. That's like worth at least like a nickel, man. Where my stickers at? And everyone knows when you put these stickers on other devices, they instantly get powered up, right? So I got this Core i7 sticker, and if I put it on my phone, now my phone has a quad Core i7. That's beast mode, right? So where my stickers at? All right, anyway, thanks for watching this video. Just kidding, we ain't done yet. So this is a lot of problems, right? Like 11 issues with a lot of sub-issues. This doesn't sound great. And should you have to deal with this? Well,
no. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. 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 Hell no. 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 I refuse. No. No.
anyway, yeah, it's a polarizing laptop. But if you can get a good XPS 15, or if you can like solve all the little nuances that may come with it, it's a great laptop. It really is. So, thanks for watching this video. And to all my loyal viewers, my loyal 16 subscribers, if you guys like this kind of video where I just kind of talk about stuff, hit me up with a comment, with a like. Let me know, because this is a bit easier than writing a script and like reading off that. So essentially what I'm doing right now is just I'm just talking. Right? I just literally have like a Google Doc right here with like some points to talk about, and I'm just like saying stuff. Yeah. Also, next video will be about my setup, right? Because I know somebody might be kind of interested about that. And by somebody, I mean me, and by interested, I mean I think my setup's kind of interesting. It's like a $20 mic setup, except for the camera and the laptop, I guess. Getting off topic. Thanks for watching.